Around 2014, at that time my relationships were very messy. Relationships with my family members, relationships with my friends, and various other people. So I had a lot of confusion, and the whole situation was very messed up. At that time, a mentor whom I respect immensely, he gave me an advice, which is, don't expect anything from others, focus only on what you are giving. Do this at least for 2 years. So when I first heard this, I thought it's very simple, I'll do it. Like I was at that time I was reading a lot of psychology and self-help books and all, and I always thought that I can change myself very easily. And when I started to put this in practice, the advice from my mentor, it was it was really tough, and it was actually a very frustrating experience, because no matter how much I tried, I couldn't do it. I began to become aware of the layers and layers of expectations that I had from others. It was a really tough situation for me, and this is what made me explore spirituality. Like before, also, I used to go through some spiritual books and stuff and all. I had that exposure, but this time I was really seeking, and gradually this led me to inner engineering program. I did my inner engineering program in 2016 January, and I got exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for a program or a system where I need not get into any belief system or any philosophy and all this stuff, and I was looking for a spiritual process which I can practice regularly, and that is exactly what I got. So there is all this stuff, belief system and all, it was not there, and I received a spiritual process called Shambhavi Mahamudra. And yeah, I began to practice Shambhavi with the consistency, and within 6 months I could see a lot of difference within me. So especially this quality that I was trying to inculcate, that began to happen. I think, like in my understanding, I think this is what happened. I began to become more and more joyful by my own self, uh, and naturally this need to expect things from others, so gradually it began to reduce. Actually, I I used to see Sadhguru videos even before I did my inner engineering program, and Sadhguru used to say, irrespective of how the external situation is, you can be joyful, blissful, and all this. And I used to think, what this beard guy is saying all these things? Is it really true? Because I was in such a messed up situation. It was a very difficult time for me, and listening all this, so I wanted to try it for myself and see. So it was more like a challenge. Okay, let me see, is this all really true? And it turned out to be that it's really true. So I was experiencing all these things, and as I continued to practice Shambhavi Mahamudra, I went for advanced Isha Yoga programs also, and they really helped me to experience deeper and more beautiful states. So with all this going on, my relationships, like something very in a very fundamental way, the relationships began to shift, began to mature, and I began to become more joyful and playful with others, and I began to jump into more tough and challenging situations with more balance and clarity and stability. So with all these things gone, like various things that I have built in my head, the delusions or the distortions and all these things, as they began to go away, I could understand myself better and others better. So some really beautiful things began to happen. Uh, so I hope my sharing is useful for you. And if you would like to explore more about Inner Engineering program, you can go to www.innerengineering.com. And those of you who are already initiated into Shambhavi, do your practice with consistency. And those of you who would like to share your own inner engineering experience, please do share in the comments. I would love to know. Namaskaram.